Ladies and gentlemen, let us all rise for the ecumenical prayer, for Muslim prayer to be led by Adnan Gyambangan, for Christian prayer to be led by Dayan Jane Mashon, for indigenous people prayer to be led by Judy Roquero, interpreted by learners from the Center for Persons with Disability. And please remain standing for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem and the Bangsamoro Hymn.
وقال ربكم ادعوني استجب لكم آمين يا رب العالمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم اهدنا الصراط المستقيم اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم إني أسألك العافية في الدنيا والآخرة. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering us today for the launching of the Beneficiary Data Management System, or the BDMS. We are grateful for this opportunity to come together in unity with one purpose of serving our communities better. We ask for your guidance upon all leaders, organizers, partners, and participants present today. Bless this program with wisdom, clarity, and success. May this system become an instrument of efficient service, transparency, and hope for every beneficiary it aims to reach. Grant us hearts that are committed to public service, minds that seek solutions, and hands that work with integrity and compassion. Strengthen our cooperation among all ministries and partners so that all our efforts may bring positive change to the people of Bangsamoro. We also pray for peace, safety, and continued blessing upon everyone here and their families. All this we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Ukay bulungan, magbabadya, nimighaning tupasak, daw yangit, ni kandente, migbigay to kahayag, to kamaseman, kantoon. Sa ngadan to amoy, anak to Espiritu Santo. Magbabadya ko, no kasay din at didayon. Tibo to mga big sakupan, Deni to Ministry to Social Services and Development, Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. Hilabito sa eni, ti pagtupad-tupad to launching of Beneficiary Data Management Systems. Paden, to igpagpadayan to paden, kan kanami, pigsagudan to mambabadyak ko, no to madudyo to paghunahuna. Sa eni tibo, migtambong to sa eni kahimunan. Banta dyan ke tibo ti oras, do ipadayo to mga katalagman. Sa eni magbabadya, pinaagi no ikaw, mapuslanon to pighinang ni iyan. Sa eni to ampo ko ikaw, ni amoy na diha to yangit. Amen.
You may now all be seated. Lama-lama is a Maguindanao term which means decoration. A dance speaks of the colors, size, and symbol of different decoration of Maguindanaon. While Singkil is a pure dance that prominent features are clapping of bamboos and leglets that create sound hands is named Singkil. Ladies and gentlemen, the Atad Batad Cultural Dance Ensemble.
Lawang ku anda kasung nasayabu sa siringan na pagkapagawatan. Kamailay nga sugudong nga manisana di saged. Nakalipatan akong kaagegenatan sa walay. Naayap senang ko. Naubang kakalipati suki ang ginawa ita.
Ladies and gentlemen, your master of ceremony, Mr. Samsudin Putawanan and Miss Alfarinor Makakua.
For decades, the Bangsamoro people have endured socio-economic challenges, displacement, limited access to services, and systemic gaps that have left many families vulnerable and underserved.
Today, we stand at a defining moment, one that marks a shift toward innovation, accountability, a digital platform. It is a commitment to evidence-based decision-making, ensuring that assistance reaches the right beneficiaries at the right time with accuracy, transparency, and dignity.
As we begin this program, may today's gathering reaffirm our shared vision of a more responsive, inclusive, and data-driven social protection system for all. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mapya kapipita,
Mapya mapita,
marayaw mahinaat,
maayong buntag.
magandang umaga, and good
Morning
morning to all of you.
Our esteemed colleagues in the ministry, representatives from BARMM ministries, offices, and agencies, our valued partners from national government agencies, non-government organizations, and civil society organizations, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this momentous occasion,
The launching of the Beneficiary Data Management System. At this juncture, we acknowledge the presence of our distinguished guests, partners, and stakeholders who have graced this important occasion. From the Bangsamoro government offices, from the Office of the Chief Minister, from the Bangsamoro Planning and Development Authority, Office for the other Bangsamoro communities, Bangsamoro Transition Authority Policy Research and Legal Services, Bangsamoro Information Office, Bangsamoro Information and Communications Technology Office, Bangsamoro Youth Commission, Bangsamoro Sports Commission, Bangsamoro Commission for the Preservation of Cultural Heritage, Bangsamoro Human Rights Commission, Bangsamoro Women Commission, Bangsamoro Pilgrimage Authority, Bangsamoro Darul Ifta, Office of Settler Communities, Office of the Bangsamoro Mujahideen under special circumstance. And of course, from the Bangsamoro Rapid Emergency Action on Disaster Incidents.
And also from the ministries, Ministry of Basic, Higher, and Technical Education, Ministry of Human Settlement and Development, Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, Ministry of Labor and Deployment, Ministry of Interior and Local Government, Ministry of Trade, Investments and Tourism, Ministry of Public Order and Safety, Ministry of Finance, Budget and Management, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Environment, Natural Resources and Energy, Ministry of Science and Technology, Ministry of Public Works, Ministry
Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, and Agrarian Reform. And lastly, Ministry of Transportation and Communication.
And of course, from the Bangsamoro Attorneys General's Office, and of course, from the other offices and institutions, we have Office of Member of Parliament Dr. Susana Salvador Anayatin, Cooperatives and Social Enterprise Authority, and the Development Academy of the Bangsamoro.
And from the non-government organizations and CSOs, Consortium of Bangsamoro Civil Society Incorporated, United a Youth for Peace and Development Incorporated, United a Youth of the Philippines Women Incorporated, and lastly, Community and Family Services International.
We would like also to acknowledge the presence from the development partners. We have the International Labor Organization, International Organization for Migration, the World Food Program, United Nations Population Fund, United Nations Children's Fund, G-Exchange Incorporated GCash, Philippine Statistics Authority, and the Development Bank of the Philippines.
Your presence reflects your unwavering support for innovation and inclusive development in the Bangsamoro region. Thank you for joining us.
And to set the tone for today's gathering and share with us the rationale behind this meaningful activity, we are honored to have with us our very own Bangsamoro Director General of the Ministry, Attorney Muhammad Moqtadir Ahmad Estrella. Let's give him a warm round of applause.
Hello. Auzu billahi minash shaitan rajim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, most merciful. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Before I deliver my opening message, I'd like to extend our courtesies on behalf of the Ministry of Social Services and Development and on behalf of the Bangsamoro government. First, of course, to the Office of the Chief Minister, Honorable Abdul Rauf A. Makakua, represented by our own Cabinet Secretary, Sir Muhammad Asnin K. Pandatun. We are also honored to have with us the Counselor for Development of the Australian Embassy to the Philippines, Mr. Peter Adams. He is joined by his Second Secretary for Development, Ms. Claire Boyer. Ms. Claire. We are also joined by the head of the Mindanao Field Office of the United Nations Children's Fund, Mr. Andreas Westenberg. We also have with us the Director of BICTO, the Bangsamoro Information Communications Technology Office, Director Jonathan Mantikayan, sir. We also have from the Ministry of Human Settlements and Development, Director Salim Demona. We also have from the BAYO, Bangsamoro Information Office, Director Andrew Alonto. Also with us is from the UNFPA, Ms. Romina Santa Clara, ma'am. And then of course, the Chief Social Policy of the UNICEF, Ms. Maya Faisal. Ms. Maya, we're very happy that you're here. We also have with us our Social Policy Specialist from UNICEF, Ms. Rosella Agkawili. And then of course, the Social Policy Specialist from UNICEF, Ms. Siti Rahabia Monato. I also want to pay courtesies to Bapi and Bea of GCash. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. To all the offices, ministries, and agencies represented here, Assalamualaikum once again. I'm here to talk about the Beneficiary Data Management System, what it is. Essentially, just for information, it's an online portal where we get to access and manage relevant data and information of our beneficiaries. Beneficiaries served by the Ministry of Social Services and Development across its various programs and services. And the BDMS reflects our commitment towards data-informed leadership and management. What do we mean by this? That when we implement our programs, we look at the data. We do not just blindly implement programs for the sake of implementing programs. There should be data to back it up. to make sure that when we say that our mission is to uplift Bangsamoro lives, we do it scientifically and objectively using data. Data-informed governance and leadership, because when our social workers would access records of their beneficiaries, they would see recurring beneficiaries, for example, applying for short-term solutions or short-term financial assistance. Doing so, being able to capture that data, our social workers would know, based on their case management and their ability to assess a client's needs, they would know that instead of having this client access short-term solutions, these clients would be better served if they would be enrolled in longer-term solutions or longer-term programs like Unlad Pamilyang Bangsamoro of the Ministry of Social Services and Development. Apart from this is also a testament of the ministry's commitment under the leadership of our own minister, Attorney Raisa Herradura Jajuri, who unfortunately cannot be with us as she is still in the process of recovery. Our prayers are with her and her family as she's going through this needed medical recovery. This is also our commitment towards digital transformation. We all know that the future is digital, and we cannot grow, we cannot develop as a region without harnessing and embracing digital tools in terms of governance. And by digital transformation, we also mean that the communities that we serve, the farthest of the far-flung areas in the Bangsamoro region, the geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas, that we also provide financial literacy and digital inclusion seminars and workshops in partnership with the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. And finally, this is also a testament to our commitment towards data protection. We understand that compared to the traditional approach where our social workers would have to literally carry case folders just to manage the records and information of their clients, we now do so relying on digital tools. That is the BDMS. Lastly, in closing my remarks, I just wanted to highlight the significance of this event. I remember back in 2020, when the pandemic hit the country, the Philippine Civil Service Commission, the national government, wanted to implement what we call Prime HRM online to commit human resource management tools using online platforms. At the time, I remember, us from the Bangsamoro region asked for an exemption. If we could be exempted from the online tool because we did not have the internet connectivity requirement for that application, for that system. 6 years since the pandemic, we are now launching the Beneficiary Data Management System. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come a long way. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. And to the amazing team behind the establishment of the Beneficiary Data Management System, our Planning and Development Division headed by our Chief, PJ Ali, who is also here with us, our leaders from the Ministry of Social Services and Development, our Deputy Minister, Ma'am Nuraini Tanlim, is here with us, our Director for Programs and Services, Director Hasim Gamil, is here with us, the Division Chief of Protective Services and Welfare Division, Ma'am Sandy Makakua, is also here with us. We've come a long way ever since we've asked for that exemption. Now we are taking the lead when it comes to digital transformation in the Bangsamoro region. And we do not wish to end in the Ministry of Social Services and Development the presence alone of the Office of the Chief Minister through our own Cabinet Secretary, our esteemed Cabinet Secretary, and the Director of BICTO would show that we only have we have further improvements and developments wherein we want to expand the scope of digital transformation even to the entire Bangsamoro framework of governance. So we welcome you on behalf of the Ministry of Social Services and Development, and we thank our partners, to the Australian Embassy, to the Philippines, to the UNICEF, to the UNFPA. Maraming salamat po. This would not be possible without your support. So this goes out to the Bangsamoro people as we continue collectively together to uplift Bangsamoro lives. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much, Director General Attorney Muhammad Muqtadir Ahmad Australia, for the warm welcome to everyone.
We now proceed to the message of support from one of our valued development partners. May we call on the Counselor, Development Australian Embassy in the Philippines, Mr. Peter Adams. A round of applause, please.
Good morning, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to be here with you, everyone, today on this really important event, the launch of the Bangsamoro Database Management System. This is a really exciting event and is the result of many years of hard work. I'd like to acknowledge Deputy Minister Nur Ami Tanlin from the Ministry of Social Services and Developments, representatives from the Office of the Chief Minister, distinguished guests from from various ministries, agencies, and local government units, and my sincere thanks to our valued partner, UNICEF, for supporting today's milestone in this amazing project. Australia and the Philippines have an enduring partnership built on more than 80 years of diplomatic relations, including more than 50 years of development cooperation. And this partnership continues to evolve, guided by a shared commitment to inclusive and sustainable development. This project is really important because it's really important that we strengthen institutional and community resilience. Social protection is central to this. By reducing vulnerability, social protection systems can help individuals and families to better cope with shocks, whether caused by conflict, economic hardship, or climate. Australia recognises that the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao faces unique challenges. This region is particularly vulnerable to both human-induced and climate-related shocks, which can affect livelihoods, sustainability, stability, and well-being. And Australia is proud to support the Bangsamoro government's development agenda, and our work spans a lot of sectors, including peace building, education, humanitarian response, disaster preparedness, and of course, social protection. And through our social protection work, we focus on strengthening systems to ensure systems reach those who need them most. We are proud to have supported the development of the Bangsamoro Social Protection Plan and innovative approaches such as digital payments through the FAST project. Today, we're really pleased to celebrate another important milestone in our partnership, the launch of the Bangsamoro Database Management System, or BDMS. The BDMS is a significant step towards a more efficient, transparent, and responsive social protection system. It provides a unified platform for managing data, which is essential for identifying and reaching vulnerable households. With more accurate and better data, the Bangsamoro government can improve and respond more quickly to emerging needs, especially during times of crisis. Importantly, the BDMS reflects strong collaboration across government, local stakeholders, and development partners. This inclusive approach helps ensure the system is grounded in local realities and responsive to the needs of communities. Australia is proud to support this initiative and the broader efforts to strengthen social protection in the Bangsamoro. And we look forward to continuing our partnership with the Bangsamoro government to build a strong, inclusive, and resilient social protection system, one that reaches the most vulnerable and supports communities in times of need. We are proud to stand with you in celebrating milestones like today, in addressing challenges together and working towards a better future for the Bangsamoro people. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Counselor of Development, Australian Embassy in the Philippines, Mr. Peter Adams. To express our gratitude and appreciation, allow us to present this token of appreciation for the unwavering support to the initiatives of the ministry, to be presented by the MSSD executive officials, including our Cabinet Secretary Muhammad Asnin K. Pindatun and the Director of Bangsamoro Information and Communications Technology Office, Director Jonathan M. Mantikayan. Allow me to read the citation real quick. The flag of appreciation is presented to Mr. Peter Adams in grateful recognition of his invaluable support and commitment to the successful launching of the Beneficiary Data Management System. Signed by our dear Minister, Raisa H. Jajuri.
And of course, we'd like to request and front to join with us the Second Secretary for Development of the Australian Embassy in the Philippines, Claire Boyer, and of course, the Senior Program Officer for Development, Australian Embassy in the Philippines, Glenny Tolentino Lorico, to please join us for the awarding of Plaque of Appreciation.
Again, thank you so much, Counselor of Development Australian Embassy in the Philippines, Mr. Peter Adams.
Our keynote speaker is a visionary leader whose commitment to inclusive governance continues to shape the Bangsamoro region. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Minister of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, Honorable Abdul Rauf A. Makakua, to be represented by the Cabinet Secretary of the Office of the Chief Minister, Mr. Muhammad Asnin K. Pindaton. A round of applause, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Isang maganda at mapayapang umaga po sa ating lahat. My utmost respect and courtesies to Mr. Peter Adams, the Counselor for Development of the Australian Embassy in the Philippines, to Ma'am Claire Boyer, Second Secretary for Development of the Australian Embassy in the Philippines, to Ma'am Lini Tolentino Lorico, the Senior Program Officer for Development, also from the Australian Embassy in the Philippines, to Ma'am Maya Faisal, the Chief Social Policy of UNICEF, to Mr. Anders Westenberg, the Chief of the Field Office of the UNICEF, Ma'am Rosella Agkawili, the Social Policy Specialist, also from the UNICEF, Siti Rahabia Monato, also from UNICEF, to our Deputy Minister, Ma'am Nuraini Tan Lim, to the Director General of MSSD, Attorney Moqtadir Estrella, to Director Hasim Gamil, to Director Jonathan Mantikayan of PICTO, to our development partners from Australia, Australian Aid, UNICEF, I stand before you today on behalf of we gather for the launch of beneficiary data system, let us reflect on its purpose, significance, and all of us. The future of governance in the Bangsamoro depends on the strength
Asking what the beneficiary data management.
this is not just a database. This is about putting order into how we serve our people. It gives us clarity. It allows us to answer simple but critical questions. Sino ba talaga ang nangangailangan? Nasaan sila? Naabot ba natin sila ng tuloy-tuloy? Here, the direction of the Office of the Chief Minister becomes very clear. A mas matatag na Bangsamoro is not built on words. It is built on system that work. System that guide decisions, sharpen our priorities, and make every action count. With this system, we close the gap between the government and the people. We reduce duplication, we prevent leakages, we make sure that help reaches the right person at the right time, in the right way. Because the truth is simple, a small helping hand delivered correctly is far more powerful than a big programs that misses its target. That is what BDMS brings. It shifts us from guesswork to evidence, from scattered efforts to coordinated action, from quantity to precision. But let us be clear, no system will fix governance on its own. A system is only as strong as the people who use it. To our ministries, our frontline workers, and everyone involved, this is now part of your responsibility. Use it properly, keep the data clean, be honest in every entry. Because once the data is compromised, everything that follows will be compromised as well. To our partners, Australian Aid, UNICEF, and all those who stood with us, maraming salamat. Thank you very much. What you have helped build here is not just a tool. You're helping shape a culture where decisions are based on facts, not assumptions. That is how institutions become strong. That is how trust is built. And to our people, this is our commitment. Hindi lamang namin ihahatid ang serbisyo, titiyakin naming makakarating ito ng tama, patas, at walang pinipili. As I close, allow me to leave this message from the Chief Minister. The strength of the Bangsamoro lies not on the volume of what we give, but in the certainty that it reaches the right people. Today, we take a firm step toward a more disciplined, more responsive, and more accountable Bangsamoro. Maraming salamat. Wabillahi tawfiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Thank you, Kapsec Pindaton, for the empowering and inspiring keynote address. And of course, thank you also to our Chief Minister, Honorable Abdul Rauf A. Makakua.
And to express our gratitude, please allow us to present this token of appreciation for the unwavering support. This will be presented by the MSSD executive officials, Sir Peter Adams, Ms. Maya Faisal, and Sir Andreas Westenberg for the token of appreciation. Allow me to read the citation real quick. Plaque of appreciation is presented to Honorable Abdul Rauf A. Makakua, as represented by Kabsec Muhammad Asnin K. Pendato, in grateful recognition of his invaluable support and commitment as keynote speaker during the launching of the Beneficiary Data Management System, signed by our dear Minister, Raisa H. Chachuri.
Alright, before we proceed, we would like to request one group photo opportunity for everyone and remain seated on your respective seats as our official cameraman will go to the front to capture a photo. And once again, we would like to request one group photo opportunity for everyone. And please remain seated on your respective seats as our official cameraman will go to the front to capture a photo.
Hello everyone. Tayo po tayong lahat for our official photo. Tayo po. Pwede pong move closer po tayong lahat. Yung mga gaps i-fill po natin. And Sir Bry, pasok po tayo. Everyone yung nasa left and right side, pasok po tayo. Alright, everyone. Pasok po tayo sa gitna. All right, everybody, 1, 2, 3. Kaway-kaway, everyone. All right, thank you so much.
We now arrive at the most anticipated moment of today's event, a defining milestone in our journey toward more responsive and inclusive public service.
The symbolic unveiling and official launching a step forward in strengthening how we serve, connect, and respond to the needs of our people.
May we respectfully invite our dignitaries and guests to please join us on stage for the official unveiling. We'd like to call on the Deputy Minister of MSSD, Nur Aini Tanlim, Head of Office, Mindanao Field Office, UNICEF, Mr. Andreas Westenberg, Cabinet Secretary of the Office of Chief Minister Muhammad Asnin K. Pindaton, Director General of the Ministry of Social Services and Development, Attorney Muhammad Moqtadir Ahmad Estrella, the Chief Social Policy of UNICEF, Maya Faisal, and of course, the Counselor, Development Australian Embassy in the Philippines, Mr. Peter Adams. And of course, our Director for Program Operation and Services, Director Hasim M. Gemil. Apology, would like to request Director of Bangsamoro Information and Communications Technology Office, Director Jonathan M. Mantikayan, to please join us on stage as we officially unveil our BDMS. Deputy Minister of MSSD, Nur Aini Tanlim. Head of Mindanao Field Office, UNICEF, Mr. Andreas Westenberg. Cabinet Secretary of the Office of Chief Minister, Muhammad Asnin K. Pindaton. Peter Adams, the Counselor for Development, Australian Embassy in the Philippines. Director General of MSSD, Attorney Muhammad Muqtadir Ahmad, Australia. The Chief Social Policy of UNICEF, Maya Faisal. And of course, the Director of Bangsamoro Information and Communications Technology Office, Director Jonathan M. Mantikayan.
Aming itataguyod sa bawat pamilya. Hindi sumusuko MSSD sa Bangsamoro. Laging gagabay sa pag-angat ng buhay tungong tagumpay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beneficiary Data Management System. A round of applause, please.
Di aming nais ay inyong kapakanan. Mga mamamayan, karapatan ay pinapahalagahan. Ang mga kababaihan, bata't matatanda at
The Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao is a region of immense potential and rich diversity, but delivering targeted social services across our vast mainland and remote island provinces presents unique logistical hurdles. In the past, relying on manual record keeping and scattered paper files meant inevitable delays. Reconciling data across different municipalities made real-time validation a challenge, sometimes leaving our most vulnerable communities waiting for critical assistance. We needed a system as dynamic as the people we serve. Enter the Beneficiary Data Management System, or BDMS. This milestone achievement is a testament to the power of strong international partnerships, generously funded by the Australian government and implemented in close collaboration with UNICEF. The BDMS transforms our social welfare data into a secure, centralized digital ecosystem. It represents a shared vision for a more resilient and responsive Bangsamoro. So, how does it work? The BDMS equips our frontline social workers with adaptable technology, whether using a tablet or a laptop fully offline in a remote village. They can encode and process data seamlessly. Once connected to the internet, the local database syncs securely to our centralized servers. The system's intelligent deduplication feature automatically cross-references records to eliminate duplicate entries. For ground-level tracking, we can view a detailed beneficiary profile, mapping out the exact assistance received per individual and household. For our leaders, the BDMS features instant report generation and an interactive dashboard, offering real-time insights into gender analysis, age distribution, and provincial beneficiaries served. This isn't just about modernizing technology, it's about human impact. With the help of BDMS, we can now track a family's progress over time, ensuring they receive holistic support without administrative overlap. Every peso is accounted for. The Beneficiary Data Management System establishes a new standard for transparency, accountability, and compassionate governance. Today, we bridge the gap between data and delivery. Welcome to the future of social services. Welcome to the BDMS.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the Beneficiary Data Management System. And with this, for our dignitaries and guests, please stay put for a quick photo opportunity.
may kapasanan ay laging kasama.
Mga katutubo, mga nawalan ng tahanan, sa inyong mga suliranin kami laging
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, a significant step toward a more efficient, transparent, and people-centered system, the Beneficiary Data Management System. Congratulations on this remarkable milestone.
Hindi sumusuko MSSD sa Bangsamoro.
To formally present the key features and core functions of the Beneficiary Data Management System, may we call on the Chief of the Planning and Development Division of the Ministry, Mr. Jamal M. Ali. A round of applause, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh and good morning. Tao dito, nararamdaman ko pa yung fireworks kanina, yung goosebump moments. But anyway, again, on behalf of the Ministry of Social Services and Development, I am TJ and my task here is to walk you through about the Beneficiary Data Management System. But don't worry, no, susubukan ko po itong matapos as early as I can. Again, thank you so much for being with us, and officially after 3 years in the making, we officially made it the official launching of the Beneficiary Data Management System. Today's presentation is focused on what our partners, ministries and agencies, even stakeholders need to understand about the Beneficiary Data Management System. Why it was built, what it changes, its purpose, and why we need to have this as we also share the same commitment in serving our Bangsamoro people. The technical deep side of the BDMS ay napanood nyo na kanina in the latest video we just have presented. What I can share to you right now is the bigger picture. The problem this solves, the data we hold, and where we are taking this together. Before the BDMS, our social protection delivery in BARMM faced 6 interconnected problems. First, we have the records were fragmented. Each program kept its own list with no way to see the full picture across households. Second, we don't have reliable data to prevent duplicate assistance. The same family could receive support from multiple programs of the ministry. Not to mention, those beneficiaries also being served by other ministries and agencies who avail the same similar services. Third, the validation was slow. Field workers and staff relied on cross-provincial cross-checking that could take days or weeks. Fourth, reporting was entirely manual. The data collection was burdensome, at the same time delayed decision-making on the part of our principals. Fifth, the limited real-time visibility. Leadership has no access to any dashboard, actual programs coverage, or households conditions. And lastly, we don't have clear audit trail of total government expenditures per family, making it possible to measure the real impact of our spending. These are not minor problems. They represent missed opportunities to serve Bangsamoro people better. Simply, BDMS came into birth. BDMS as a centralized platform, digital platform, the single source of truth for all social protection services or beneficiary data in the Ministry of Social Services and Development across Bangsamoro region. It is not just a database. It is a maintenance system that covers registration, validation, enrollment, systems recording, case monitoring, and analytics. Today, BDMS serves MSSD major programs. To mention some, the family and community welfare programs, the investment for child and youth, our interventions for women, our support for elderly and persons with disabilities, and also our support as we render programs and interventions to our displaced populations. What I want to be clear to you right now is these systems that touches every major assistance programs of MSSD. This is not, as shown in the screen, the live data snapshots. This is not projected data. These are real numbers from our BDMS dashboard as of April 27 of 2026. That's yesterday. BDMS now holds back records for over 110,332 families to be exact. That is more than 110 Bangsamoro families or households profiled, validated, and stored in the system. And we have about 423,764 individual records broken down by sex and age, disability, and even provincial distributions, giving us unprecedented demographic pictures of populations we are serving. The trend chart shown in the screen shows registration activity by province over the past year. You can see peaks in June of 2025 and October of 2025. Those correspond to active enrollment, drive, and post-disaster response periods in the Bangsamoro. This is what data-driven governance look like in practice. Now, let me speak to you directly to our partners, ministries and agencies of the Bangsamoro government, development partners, non-government and civil society organizations, and even humanitarian champions. BDMS, again, is not just internal to MSSD as a tool. It changes how we will work all together. When we need to verify, in terms of coordination, if a family is already enrolled in MSSD programs, you can no longer need or wait for a manual lookup. Verify records are accessible and searchable. For fiscal integrity, the duplication detection feature means we protect public funds. No beneficiary can appear twice or the same type of assistance. The data in BDMS can directly support our budget proposals, committee hearings, and other legislative initiatives. Real numbers, real demographic, real program outcomes. Pre-registration households on the part of faster social protection interventions, we can now begin assistance distribution within the hours instead of crumpling down in identifying beneficiaries. And lastly, in terms of transparency, every transaction is logged. This is our commitment to the Bangsamoro people, that their trust in the government is not misplaced. Let me put this into different terms on the matter in relation to the decision makers and also budget holders that is present today. And also our audience watching us in our Facebook Live. BDMS reduces 5 costly problems. Such as duplicate payouts, fraud and leakage, delayed services, manual workload, and reporting inefficiency. Each of these represents real money lost. or real Bangsamoro families underserved. On the other side, BDMS will improve 5 outcomes that matter for governance. 1, trust in government. The precision of our programs and our speed and provision of social protection interventions. How inequitably we allocate resources and our ability to plan long-term poverty reduction. This is not a technology expense. Again, it is a government strategy, an investment that pays dividends in every program we run. Now, you might be asking what's next after this. BDMS today is just a version of its own. What we have launched is a strong foundation, but the wisdom or the vision is much bigger. That is having our one vision, one Bangsamoro family, one verified record, coordinated government support. In the future, we want even to push forward about the system and reaching its maximum potential. As one, in the next phase or line of our items, we'll be developing mobile tools for the barangay level field registration, AI-assisted targeting to identify the most vulnerable households, GIS poverty mapping, SMS notification features for our beneficiaries, and digital case management for our frontline social workers. But the most exciting opportunity, and yes, we say this, to our partner ministries directly, is the word integration. We envision BDMS becoming the shared beneficiary registry of the entire Bangsamoro government. That means MOH for health assistance, basic higher technical education and science and technology support scholarship grants for the learners, support from labor and employment, from MAFAR for livelihood programs, all connected through one verified registry. With PhilSys integration for identity verification, we eliminate ghost beneficiaries permanently. One family, one record, whole of government support. This is where we are headed. To officially close, and I want again to run as to why we are here today. BDMS is not just a system launch. It is a statement of intent that MSSD and the Bangsamoro government are committed to serving our people with professionalism, transparency, and the intelligence they deserve. Better data, meaningful service. This is, again, our commitment to every Bangsamoro family. We invite all our partners, ministries, and agencies, provincial and municipal offices, and civil society partners to work with us. The registry grows stronger. With each enrollment, the data becomes more powerful. With each integration, and the families of BARMM benefit more with each agency that joins this ecosystem. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. And maraming salamat po. And at the same time po, good morning.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Thank you so much, Chief Jamal Ali, for the walkthrough.
Before we proceed, let us once again enjoy a cultural performance. A round of applause, please.
Saan ko magatubusan? Imo manabukaran, ipanayon ko sa sukratan. Kamasuditan mo di kakuha, kaibahino ikaw kahon. Sa ayaw na ayaw na masusun, patulos na diyang di ako. Wa ikabay kakuy ka madyahon, naiyatan ka natabo ka na natabo. Tiri-tiri ulo na tato, kasugatan ka nasugatan ka ni abamon, sa tiya po po kinatahon.
Thank you so much, performers, for the cultural intermission. Once again, a round of applause, please. Now, we would like to present via video presentation the message of our dear Minister of the Ministry of Social Services and Development, Attorney Raisa H. Jujuri. A round of applause, please.
Pag-asa't
Warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I would like to begin with something our field workers have always told us. Stories they carry with them long after the home visits, the field monitoring, and everyday interacting with our beneficiaries. The mother who traveled hours just to submit the same document she already submitted the year before. The elderly man who was told his name was not on the list again. The family who qualified for assistance but waited and never understood why it never came. We hear these stories often, and for a long time, our honest answer was that our systems were not good enough to prevent them. That is what brought us here today. What you see launched before you did not happen overnight. It started in April 2023, when a small team sat down and asked, how do we build a system that actually works for the Bangsamoro? From there came the beta version, the servers, the rollout trainings in Sulu, Tawi-Tawi, Basilan, Lanao del Sur, Maguindanao, and the Special Geographic Area. Province by province, social worker by social worker. By the end of 2023, we had 22,700 households and coded records. And today, we stand at over 110,266 households, or 423,587 individuals. This is not a software story. It is a people story. It is the story of our field workers who showed up to trainings, learned a new system, and committed to making it work. It is the story of local governments who trusted the process, and that is, above all, the story of families who deserve better and are now one step closer to getting it. The Beneficiary Data Management System is one of MSSD's answer to a problem to stop talking about. Families who deserved help and did not get it, not because of lack of compassion, but from a lack of a system built well enough to find them and keep them. Now, for the first time in the BARMM, at least 10 social protection programs speak the same language. One system, one record. Over 110,266 households, and still going, composed of mothers, children, persons with disabilities, senior citizens are already in it. And we are just getting started. By digitizing our social services, we are not just upgrading software. We are promoting the dignity of the Bangsamoro family by ensuring every centavo reaches its rightful home. The BDMS exists to make sure that money finds that person and not someone else. This is not a mere launching ceremony or a piece of system. This is, in many ways, a response to years of feedback from the ground, from our beneficiaries, from our field workers, and from the communities who kept showing up even when the process let them down. We heard them, and we did something about it. Yes, this is a pioneering system, but it also means responsibility. We are setting the standard not just for the BARMM, but for what inclusive, rights-based social protection can look like in the region. To our partners, the Australian government and UNICEF, your investment here is not in a database. It is in the 2 million people this system is designed to serve. And to the Bangsamoro people, this system was built for you. It will be run with your data protected, your dignity intact, and your welfare at the center of every decision we make. This is our commitment in the ministry. This is the commitment of this government. Maraming salamat po, syukran, lagit-lagi para sa Bangsamoro.
Thank you so much, Minister Raisa H. The jury, once again, a round of applause, please.
Sa bawat pamilyang hindi sumusuko,
And now we now proceed to the messages of support from our distinguished partners. And after each message, a token of appreciation will be awarded later on. Ladies and gentlemen, let's call on the Bangsamoro Information and Communications Technology Office Director, Director Jonathan M. Manticayan. A round of applause, please.
Sa mga nasa laylayan, kami naririto, hatid ang serbisyong angkop para sa inyo.
Pag-asa magpupursige, aming itataguyod sa bawat pamilya.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Honorable officials of the Bangsamoro government, Honorable Chief Minister Abdul Rauf Makakua, represented by our Cabinet Secretary Muhammad Asnin Pindaton, esteemed leaders of the Ministry of Social Services and Development, development partners from Australian Embassy, from the UNICEF, stakeholders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today marks a significant milestone in our collective journey towards a more digitally empowered, inclusive, and service-oriented Bangsamoro. On behalf of the Bangsamoro Information and Communication Technology Office, Office of the Chief Minister, I extend my warmest congratulations and full support to the Ministry of Social Services and Development for the successful launching of its platform Beneficiary Digital Management System. This initiative is more than just a technological advancement. It is a transformative step toward improving public service delivery, strengthening transparency, enhancing operational efficiency, and ensuring that social services reach our people faster, more accurately, and more effectively. As we embrace digital transformation across the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region, this platform exemplifies our shared commitment to building a government that is responsive, innovative, and accessible to every Bangsamoro citizen, especially the vulnerable sectors who depend on timely social intervention. At BICTO, we firmly believe that digitalization is a cornerstone of good governance or moral governance. Through strategic ICT integration, interoperable systems, and citizen-centered innovations, we are laying the foundation for a connected Bangsamoro where ministries work smarter, services become more efficient, and communities are empowered. The digital platform of MSSD, Beneficiary Digital Management System, stands as a model of how technology can bridge gaps, improve accountability, and elevate the quality of governance. It aligns strongly with our broader vision of establishing a unified and modern digital government ecosystem in BARMM. We commend MSSD for its proactive leadership, and we reaffirm BICTO's commitment to continuously support ministries, agencies, and their digital transformation effort through policy guidance, technical assistance, infrastructure development, and innovation. Let this launch inspire more ministries and institutions to harness the power of technology in fulfilling their mandates. Together, let us continue shaping a Bangsamoro that is digitally resilient, socially responsive, and globally competitive. Pagpalain Bangsamoro, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah, wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Thank you so much, Director of the Bangsamoro Information and Communications Technology Office, Director Jonathan M. Mantikayan, for the message of support. And now, we'll be hearing another message of support from our valued partner from UNICEF. Ladies and gentlemen, let's call on the Chief of Mindanao Field Office, Sir Andreas Westenberg. A round of applause, please.
Aming itataguyod sa bawat pamilya, hindi sumusuko MSSD sa Bangsamoro.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning, everyone. My courtesies to the Honorable Chief Minister Abdul Rauf Makakwa, represented today by Mohammed Aznim Pendatun, the Cabinet Secretary of the Office of the Chief Minister. Honorable Nur Aini Tan Lim, the Deputy Minister for the Ministry of Social Services and Development. Mohammed Muqtadi Estrella, the Director General for MSSD, and actually all the other MSSD colleagues here. Too many to mention in person, but thank you so much for inviting us to give this message of support. My courtesies as well to the Honorable Suharto Ismail, Member of Parliament for the Bangsamoro Transitional Authority, the Honorable Jonathan Mantikayan, Director of the Bangsamoro Information Communications Technology Office, and all the other representatives from different ministries, offices, and agencies, also to the development partners, civil society organizations, and beneficiaries of social protection in BARMM. Today's launch of the Beneficiary Data Management System is a key milestone and a key achievement for the Bangsamoro region towards building a more inclusive, adaptive, and responsive social protection. I remember about a year ago, I think it's a little bit longer than a year ago, we were at the same place and we were launching another milestone event in terms of social protection, which was the Bangsamoro Social Protection Plan, also supported by the Government of Australia and UNICEF. And that plan set out the vision to reduce poverty, to address inequalities, and this is exactly where the beneficiary data management system comes in as a key tool to operationalize the social protection plan. Because from the field, what we see is how gaps in data or coordination and service delivery can delay assistance for families who need it most. So the BDMS helps address these challenges by providing targeted assistance, by strengthening coordination across programs, and by equipping frontline workers with accurate and unified information. I would also like to take that opportunity to say that at the same time, we also must not forget about the challenges that still persist. According to the Philippine Statistics Authority, over 40%, or an estimated 900,000 children in BARMM, are still living in poverty and in multidimensional poverty. This is a gap that we still need to close. If economic shocks persist, this number may even rise because, as we see, for instance, transport costs may rise or production costs may rise, and potentially pushing up the price for food and other essentials, so which can add to the cost of living and push more people into poverty. So this is really a critical moment in time. And addressing it means ensuring that essential services are not only available, but of high quality, accessible, and responsive at all times, especially for children and for families and other vulnerable groups. So systems like the BDMS, they help make this possible by supporting continuity, predictability, and accountability in service delivery. Together with the Bangsamoro government, through the Ministry of Social Services and Development, development partners, local government stakeholders, and communities, UNICEF will continue to support the full rollout and the continuous improvement of the system so that the impact is continuing to be felt where it matters most. We remain committed to supporting efforts to reduce poverty and equality in the region and to ensuring that no child and no family in BARMM is left behind. Ultimately, this is about making systems work for people, translating commitments into real and lasting change in their lives. And as UNICEF, we are proud to be part of this process to support. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sir Andres Westenberg, the Chief of Mindanao Field Office, UNICEF, for the unending support to the ministry's initiatives. And with this, to express our gratitude and appreciation, allow us to present this token of appreciation for the unwavering support to the innovation initiatives of the ministry. We'd like to call on stage to assist us in the presentation of the plaque our MSSD executive officials, Cabinet Secretary Asnin K. Pindaton, and the Chief Social Policy of UNICEF, Ma'am Maya Faisal. Ladies and gentlemen, the plaque of appreciation with the same citation is presented to Sir Andreas Westenberg, the Chief of Mindanao Field Office, UNICEF, and the Director of the Bangsamoro Information and Communications Technology Office, Director Jonathan M. Mantikayan. A round of applause, please.
Okay, we now proceed to the ceremonial turnover of laptops to the MSSD Maguindanao del Norte Municipal Social Welfare Officers in support of strengthening service delivery and operational efficiency in the field.
This support will be handed by Supatra. From the Municipal Operation Office, we have Barira, Buldon,
Dato Blas Sinswat, Dato Odin Sinswat,
Kabuntalan,
Matanog, Northern Kabuntalan,
we also have Parang,
and Sultan Kudarat,
Sultan Mastura, Talitay, and Upi.
Again, we are now witnessing the ceremonial turnover of laptops to the MSSD Maguindanao del Norte Municipal Social Welfare Officers in support of strengthening service delivery and operational efficiency in the field. Once again, a round of applause, please.
Laging kagabay, iangat ang buhay tungong tagumpay.
Sama-sama nating iangat ang buhay. Bangsamoro. Pag-asa't pagpupursige, amin itataguyod sa bawat pamilya. Hindi sumusuko MSSD sa Bangsamoro. Laging
Ladies and gentlemen, we are bound to the end and to deliver the closing message. May we respectfully call on our Deputy Minister of the Ministry of Social Services and Development, Nur Aini Tanlib. A round of applause, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. What a moment in history, subhanallah. Today, we were able to be reminded about our identity as Bangsamoro in all the cultural performances. But more than that, we are moving forward with technology, with innovation, but at the end of it all, and at the center and front, are the Bangsamoro people. So just to summarize, what we saw today, three major themes. Innovation. Time waits for no one. We have to keep moving forward, and we have to use whatever means, tools necessary to achieve the goal of giving better services for the Bangsamoro people. Number two, I remember during the Bangsamoro hymn, there was this action there about justice and equality and dignity. This is what BDMS aims to deliver to Bangsamoro people. At the heart of it all, the honor and dignity of government services where they are entitled to and they have easier access to. Equitable distribution of resources, but most especially delivering it with the heart and soul of humanity. Finally, we are in the service of putting smiles on the faces of our Bangsamoro brothers and sisters to ease their pain, to relieve their distress. The BDMS will actually be saving lives. Because once we use big data analytics to determine disaster-prone areas, we are able to better serve and protect them from disasters that might happen. And as the Quran says in Surah Al-Ma'idah, ayah number 32, وَمَنْ أَحْيَاهَا فَكَأَنَّمَا أَحْيَا النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا. If you save the life of one person, it's like you have saved the lives of everyone. And this is what MSSD aims to achieve using technology, innovation, but never forget the most important, the heart and soul of serving the Bangsamoro people. And finally, I would like to again acknowledge our partners. Andreas, how's the palm print? It worked, right? Peter and Claire, who already left, Maya, Dr. Mantikayan, all our representatives from the ministries, we're in this together. It is so fulfilling to be part of the Mas Matatag na Bangsamoro, where we are strengthening our institutions to work for, of, and by the Bangsamoro people. And with this, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Thank you so much, Ma'am Deputy Minister Nur Annie Tanliv. May this be a reminder for everyone to continuously serve with excellence, innovation, and efficiency.
We now invite everyone for the final photo opportunity. Would like to call on our dignitaries, guests, and executive officials of the MSSD. Again, we now invite everyone for the final photo opportunity. We'd like to call on our dignitaries, guests, and executive officials of the MSSD. On stage.
Once again, we would like to request everyone to join us on one last group photo opportunity on stage before we proceed with a press conference and cultural intermission performance. We'd like also to request Ma'am Bapi and Ma'am Bea to join us with a photo opportunity. Other offices, lahat po tayong lahat na nakaupo sa center ng ating mga upuan, we kindly request your presence on stage for a group final opportunity. We would like also to request our partners from the International Organization for Migration to join us on stage.
Sige Bagyo, maaasahan mo, serbisyong may prinsipyo. Pag-ahon sa buot ng madilim na kahapon, asahan mo, may mag-aangat sa'yo. Pag-asa't pagpupursige, aming itataguyod sa bawat pamilyang hindi sumusuko. MSSD sa Bangsamoro, laging kagabay. Serbisyo sa bawat kliyente, lahat ay posible, ikaw ay kasali. MSSD sa Bangsamoro, laging kagabay, iangat ang buhay tungong tagumpay. Sama-sama nating iangat ang buhay. Bangsamoro. Pag-asa't pagpupursige, aming itataguyod sa bawat pamilya.
Stay put. We would like to request a video clip.
MSSD sa
Sige po, photo muna, photo.
laging kaagapay sa pag-angat ng buhay tungong tagumpay. Sa bawat sulok ng Bangsamoro, kami maglilingkod.
Alright, video clips. Okay, video clips po. Isigaw po natin lahat sabay-sabay. Lagit-lagit para sa Bangsamoro. Yehey! Yehey! I-off po muna natin yung music, sir. Sir, hello po. Pa-off po ng music saglit. Ayan.
Alright guys, ang sasabihin niyo po ay lagit-lagi para sa Bangsamoro. Tapos si Ehe, consistent lang po para yung mag-video. Paning lang po sila. Consistent. Okay, ready? 3, 2, ready, cameraman? 3, 2, 1, go. Isa pa? Yung mas higher yung energy po. Mahina, mahina. Okay. Energy, energy. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, ang galing. Thank you so much.
Pursige, aming itataguyod sa bawat pamilya, hindi sumusuko. MSSD sa Bangsamoro.
This concludes the formal program. Once again, I am a foreigner Makakuwa. Thank you for being part of this meaningful milestone. Together, let us continue advancing inclusive, efficient, and data-driven social protection.
Maraming salamat po sa pagpapangunlak ng aming imbitasyon. Once again, welcome to the future of social service. Wabillahi tawfiq wal hidayah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. And now we'll be turning this microphone and the floor for the MSSD Information and Communication Division and the UNICEF Communication Team for the press conference. Once again, we would like to call on our Bangsamoro Director General Attorney Muhammad Muqtadir Ahmad Australia, our Director 2 for Programs and